Well, in that case, I'd give it to HellRaisers right now, just because of the fact that the Beastmaster is going to provide vision superiority. And it's very hard for 5 men to pick something that's going to do better than a Beastmaster at giving vision.
Rubik Jakiro, I was kind of thinking if they had like Rubik Bane, it's not the best support duo, but Bane kind of does give you that counter initiation defensive side. Shadow Demon also kind of does that same thing too. But Jakiro allows you to combo with the Faceless Void. Also a strong support that doesn't instantly just die in lane, because there's going to be a Willow harassing, there's going to be a Beast harassing. You can actually fight them back pretty well and protect your Void. Okay, a 4th pick Zeus. This makes things interesting.
Interesting is the right term, yeah. I mean, this is excellent contribution to chrono kills no matter where you are on the map. Especially once he gets that axe, ton of area control, area damage. If HellRaisers wants to play this on tempo and win earlier than 5 men does, they just got themselves one hell of a challenge, and they really gotta jump. And this is also a vision superiority hero, by the way. This is going to take away a lot of these hogs, a lot of wards, making it hard to actually find the backline and jump people. So not upset with that pick at all. Just it leaves them a little bit light on the actual front line. It's basically Jakiro right now.
Smart ban with the Lycan. Lycan just hard counters the Zeus, even though the hero is not picked that often. It could still be a very spooky pick to have. You can even play mid Lycan and just beat the Zeus in the lane.
There's nothing you can do about a wolf running at him. Completely agree.
Absolutely nothing.
Only 10
Bloodseeker ban on the other side does lead me to believe that this is most likely going to be carry Doom.
5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
Yeah, they need a mid hero to go along with these. Technically, some players like to play Beast mid or put Doom as a carry. Sometimes Doom even mid in some cases. I don't think that's a CIS thing to do though.
No, it definitely is. They do that as well.
Yeah, very rarely, but yeah, since I know that it's more of a NASA thing to have like Doom as your mid hero. They are banning out carries though, so that could, yeah. PA is another smart ban here. Good against the Void, really good against the Zeus.
I do definitely think that the Zeus pick opened up the idea of Doom mid more if the Zeus is indeed their mid. Because Doom is going to be fine in that lane. He's not going to like greatly enjoy it or anything, but the Zeus is going to have a hard time stopping this Doom from actually getting his devours in.
Yeah, you can't stop the Devours, but you can definitely harass the Doom out of lane. So Doom would have to do jungling, and Doom is a very bad jungler. So I would maybe slightly disagree on that. I think the Zeus would do great with the Doom. Though Doom does have a bit of a higher right click, though he does struggle with denying a bit. Zeus also has really high right click, so he can also attempt to deny some creeps.
Yeah, maybe I'm underestimating the damage output of a Zeus once you go those arc lightning levels again, because that's not the Zeus that I'm used to anymore. But yeah,
we'll
at the same time, still the carries banned up. Sand King.
Yeah, Sand King's a decent pickup here. There's not that many offlane heroes remaining. Almost a majority of them that are usually played are in the ban list. So yeah, Sand King's a pretty decent hero that's left over. I was thinking about the Centaur for a bit, but Centaur, he's not the greatest, since you've already banned out the biggest threats for the Zeus, and it's not that big of an assistance for Faceless Void. It's a good ultimate, yeah, but that's about it to say. And then we got Morphling. So this really does go down to the laning stage, how things roll out. That's a mid Doom, so Xani will play it mid against the Zeus. By the looks of it, yep, that is, yeah. Mid, yeah. So Zeus versus Doom, Void versus Beast, Morph versus Sand King.
Really, like that top lane is going to be real nice for HellRaisers. They set it up that way. They're going to be very happy with that, even if the Jakiro trades decently into the Enchantress. But then the Doom mid, I mean, you just gave me very good reasons to be worried for it, so now I am worried for it. But yeah, the Morphling into the Faceless Void, especially with pretty much a finite amount of burst damage on 5-man. The damage that they have is not all that renewable. Like, it's basically all ace with the right clicking, and everything else is very cooldown dependent. Sand King, like, his big damage is mostly his ult. You have Zeus very reliant on the ult burst combo as well. So if Morphling can survive the initial wave of damage, after that he can probably go to town and clean up. And he's got some really nice things to steal here, especially from the Sand King and the Faceless Void.
Yeah. The last time we saw the Zeus in action was a big risk for several big heroes, and especially 5-man actually had to play against that Zeus. Was that the case? Yeah, they had the Medusa going up against the enemy Zeus. Yep. So Morphling has that same threat as well. So you can't full agi shift without living on the edge a little bit.
Yep. And let's find out. And like the thing I am most interested in here is that mid matchup. I still think the Doom can get enough out of it, and as we did see together in NASA as well, sometimes the Doom not winning the lane is not the worst as long as he can keep farming.
Ready?
He's fine, like in true offlaner style really. If he gets his levels in,
No.
and he'll make up for it later with the sheer power of items. But let's find out, because this is, I imagine, not a matchup that either Chessie or Xani is very familiar with.
Yep, and to remind, the last time we actually cast mid Doom was when there was actually a Darkseer with that previous patch. When Darkseer would just give insane amounts of movement speed to a Doom who would have drums built up. So we'll see if that changes Xani's item build in any way. Do we get to see the drums on the Doom, or are we going to see other item pickups? Because the drums definitely does help out the Doom a lot. So it helps out the team getting closer and closing up gaps, and really helps the Doom to get in. Or are we going to see Blink Daggers with Blink Stuns or Shadow Blades for a bit of surprise advantage? Shadow Blade probably not because of the Zeus already there, but options are still open for the Doom to go here.
Last time I saw Beastmaster Zeus at Beastmaster Doom at the very least, it was the Doom going for the Blink Dagger and the Beastmaster going into a push build with the Necrobook. Though that didn't work out for them because the Doom, well, we cast that together, didn't we? Doom getting killed just before his blink, and then again, it was painful.
Bounty rune to be picked up. Lil's gonna go for that one. So 2 for 2. Calm start for the last game of this entire day. Close up our 5th group stage day here with the BTS Pro Series Season 3 Europe and CIS group stages. There's going to be more days of Dota on tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, and then on September the 22nd. So, wait, this is not the 5th day. This is the 6th day of the groups. What am I saying? So 2/3 will be completed after this match. Look at this mid matchup to start things off with Chessie and Xani. And yeah, it's going to be that Arc Lightning spam. Doom really wants to get that Bracer up and running as soon as possible. Want to have a bit of mobility for himself. And obviously, a full magic wand and not just the stick for himself, because this is going to be a lot of spells being spammed here.
Yes, I'm actually kind of unhappy that he didn't bring the stick to lane immediately.
Yeah, to start things off with, yeah.
Yeah. You know it's gonna be a Zeus. It's helped you a lot to just be able to get that HP back right from the start.
Rada having a bit of difficulties trying to get aggro off this one melee creep. Almost runs under the tower, and tower will start pushing that lane forward. Getting a decent amount of harass here. Actually, this is that one game where Enchantress starts off with heal, level 1 Morphling. Getting hit by Xibe. Stun and Misery somehow hits that Fate Bolt damage. It's going to be enough to take down the Morphling. I honestly have to admit I was a bit surprised about that. They did hit those level 2s there in the middle of that battle. But that Fate Bolt doing that much damage was a bit of a surprise.
Fate Bolt's a big nuke. It's just, I thought that Dyrachia was going to have just enough. And I think Dyrachia thought that too.
Yeah. surprise. And also Caustic Finale picked up by Sand King, knowing that Morphling is a semi-range hero, so that's definitely gonna hurt a lot with the Sand King getting up levels, because that might just lead into a point where the Morphling's gonna be really afraid of going next to the creep wave.
Yep.
Lil taking a lot of harass from Pylai die. This could be another kill. 80 HP, still a Fairy Fire. Pylai die a bit too far away. Has a Mango. Does he drop the dual breath? No. Let Lil live.
No. Just keep Lil out of range for now. Lil's like, I'll Fairy Fire up before I TP out because I don't trust that I'm gonna live otherwise.
Yeah, Fairy
Might
Fire,
as well.
TP on. Ace
You know,
with
he
11
could have
CS.
also stepped behind a tree.
Yeah, that too. But at least in terms that Pylai die able to drive that one guy out, so now it's only just the Boar and Phonic remaining in this lane. Meanwhile, in top, T-Panda with 20 HP. Darachi almost gets the kill, but Non-Grata will finish it off. Morphling does get tossed away. So tying it up 1-1.
And I gotta say, Non-Grata must be really happy that he gets to play Ench so much, because this is a hero that he just also has been playing offline, so he's very familiar with it. You know, who says that you need to switch up your hero pool if they're just gonna give you your previous hero? It's gonna be feeling comfortable.
Now looking at this mid
Not sure
matchup, unless
Duracio's
there's a
comfortable,
fight
though.
going on in top, actually, Morphling dropping low there. So shifting into more strength, and there comes the Hellbear Smasher brought by Non-Grata.
Kalapa.
You can hear the roar come out somewhere. Just casually right-clicking out Morphling, and suddenly behind the corner is a roar. And it's like, oh shit, like, what's going on? Is a Hellbear coming knocking on the door? Like, everyday finish life, right? And yeah, I was about to talk about this mid matchup. So Doom has actually had to brought up a lot of extra HP regen into this lane, but he's surviving and he's thriving.
Radiant structures are
And he only just brought the stick. Only just now did he bring the stick, so he's been buying a lot of regen for this lane.
Still doing very well on the last hits, though. So
Yes,
he's
yes,
Sonny's
he's
going
doing
to be
good.
really happy with this.
Yeah.
This is well, this is what I expected at the start, but I still
and you were
gotta
right.
say that I'm relieved. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised to be right here, honestly, because it's it does feel like
yeah.
a very tough
There is a
sell.
There is a difficulty for Chessie here, though, playing with Zeus, is the fact that you still have a mana pool to fight against. And if Doom just keeps on bringing more and more regen, Doom doesn't exactly cast a lot of spells, so the more levels Doom picks up, of course he's going to take a lot of hits, but it's really down to that regen. Misery being chased by a Centaur and Non-Grata away. No kill given there. And Zeus is actually gone all the way back home. So Doom should be level 6 now. Yep, Sonny 6. Still leveling up with more and more skills. No Doom needed to be leveled up yet. But Doom is in for a very good start for the game.
And I want to say, by the way, that this Jakiro pick has really salvaged the bottom lane for 5 men. This was going to be way more difficult for them otherwise. Although now that I'm saying that, exactly while I'm saying that, Pylai is dying. Wow, man. Did you really have to do that to me?
Zeus ulti out, Non-Grata's dead. And Non-Grata, where did he actually die? Okay, between the tier 1 and tier 2 towers in mid from Chessie's ult, so there appeared to be some kind of movement there.
I can't believe he just did that to me.
They really put some salt in the air in their direction.
Yep.
They're doing so good. Oh.
It's like, and I'm halfway through the sentence when he gets stuck in that creep wave. It's.
But hey,
it's
counter
not just
psychology. Counter psychology. Now you got to start yelling at them, and they'll start doing things like they are right now. TP cancelled by Pylai die. Mireska has no many directions to run to, and Dark Willow. I don't know why I'm casting a Scottish suddenly, but Lil's trying to run away, and Misery will finish the job.
What a delightful geographically ambiguous accent you got.
Very interesting change there. Seba being chased by Non-Grata and Duraccio. 200 HP, juking at the trees, running in zigzag. Trying to juke around, but Duraccio waveform is ready, and another one for the HellRaisers.
Their laning stage coming together very well. Especially this Doom being big. he can feel free to rotate anywhere, because the fun part about being a Doom is that since you don't rely on, you know, killing entire creep camps to get farm, but more on I hit a creep here and there, but mostly I devour them, means that you can be very mobile on the map and very active, even when the Doom itself is not up, just in showing your face, in attracting attention, etc. So really looking forward to see Xani do that and buy some big time space for Dragon.
Rooted up by Lil. Ice Path save from Pylite Die and forces Lil and Funnick away. Funnick actually goes for the roar and goes ham for this kill. Lil will follow up with more damage, and Misery is down. They do continue all the way for it. It pays off, and they find the courier on the way. So Pylite Die's sentries, they will go with the courier to the graveyard.
That's painful. That's a hero dying on the 3 side of the 3 versus 2. So, Xani, yeah, he's going to be going into drums, and then after that is the real question. I'm hoping for a Blink Dagger person.
So too, no Brada. Up on Sebe here takes away the Invis rune with that 8-minute action rune contest. Let's look at Doom. Yep, it's the drums build up. Where do you usually go from here? What do you want to build after the drums on the Doom? Want to go Blink or something else?
I just said that.
You just said that,
I'd
yes.
like to see the Blink.
All right, yeah, the Blink. I was just thinking, like, is Blink always the go-to? Because in most games, yeah, you always see the Blink come right after the drum. So I was thinking, do you want any damage items? Zeus ulti Terraccio gets the strength gain out just in time.
I think the damage is on their supports in this case.
Yeah. Yeah, they most likely it's there. Out. Yeah, they're fine.
And you really want an ability to jump that Zeus, or for example a Rubik for an entrance skill. Because if you fight them straight up, this backline coming out from 5 men is going to deal so much damage to you. Whereas their front line is pretty ignorable. Like, both Sand King and Festus Void don't like tanking anything, and they don't even deal that much damage until, like, you know, maybe the Sand King gets a Veil. That's what I'd probably enjoy seeing out of Jibba. That would also synergize very well with his Zeus and actually his entire supporting cast.
Alright.
Yeah.
That's gonna get stunned up under the tower, Lil. Easy job to finish that one off.
And we haven't really touched on this, by the way, but Lil is one of those few players that really specializes in Dark Willow. Is capable of absolutely running away with games on this hero. So I'm not sure if this is like the best game for him to display that, but we know that he has the capability, and it would be really fun if he did so.
Yeah, there's not that many Willow players who really feel comfortable picking Willow into many drafts. That's making him unique also in a sense.
The other big name for me for Willow players is Taiga.
Taiga, yeah.
Single-handedly saved some games with that.
Well, they're putting a bit of pressure here into this top lane. There's another enchanted creep just pulling the creep wave away. Also, the catapult. Life just a tiny bit longer.
And Doom is going BKB, by the way, so his intentions are more stay as this big front line while all of this mid-game magic damage is coming out, as opposed to getting the jump first.
Yeah,
it's
we
good for
won't get to see the blink yet.
Yeah. But he might.
And look at the Chrono Ace, just jumps in from the side, and also Pylite Eye will follow up with the Macro Pyre Ice Path throw down, and Doom should melt to all the dots. Good play there by 5 men, but Zeus is out at the same time, so Lil and Funnick close the gap. I was looking at Zeus's HP pool, I was like, okay. Managed to find two.
He seems to be in a pickle.
In a pickle, yeah. Here comes the Terraccio waveforming. Okay, interesting move there. Waveform in, turn into Void, and then just time walk to the side.
Wanted to get some damage off of him, I guess.
Yep. But Beast comes in to finish off the tower.
Yep. The way that they did that on the map is very nice. Just action in 2 places at once. So they traded equal there, even if it felt very bad to see that double chrono go down. And now Funnick, he's farming so far forward as well. I don't actually think they're going to allow 5 men to play on this bottom side anymore at all. And it means that they're going to have to go through non-grata on top. Look at how early in the game they're squeezed in. All funneled into this top lane. And they don't have a chrono to do that with right now, and I don't think Chessie feels that that's fun either.
Yep.
He's going to want to take care of that mid lane first and foremost. Yeah, it is Ace who's going towards top.
Are still putting pressure on the Sand King, but they're afraid to go at him. Dust will be used. And yeah, actually, not sure if I discussed this with you or with Mo earlier about the Beastmaster build with the Necro Book. So he's actually maxing out his Necro Book here. Instead of going just for Necro 1s and then building something in between. Going straight for 3s by the looks of it.
I mean, most of the heroes on the side of 5 men can't actually afford to kill the Necro Books. You know, sometimes you're like, oh man, they're just fodder, but they don't give that much gold anymore. As well as that, just can you imagine a Zeus accidentally killing your Necro 3? He's gonna be on half HP. It's great.
Yep. Worth. Now they're just hunting them. Jakiro will take it. It doesn't even take that much damage because Jakiro is a really bulky support. With that.
And it isn't level 3 yet. And with that action as well, so with the reactions on bottom, but Ace still staying top, at the very least they get the top tower down. A little bit of space to breathe for 5 men, which is something they're going to be very happy with. I wonder if they can get a pick off on Dracula here as well. Misery walks up a bit too boldly. So, Ace is looking for that Midas. Meantime, Dracula already has his Eagle song. He's going to hit the Ghost Scepter before the 20-minute mark rolls around. And that's where we're going to see heads roll.
So you really want to get that fear factor out of the shotgun build. So if you do opt to go for it, the best use of it is the first one, because it also, like, it has a fear effect. And there's an epicenter coming in with the Sand King going for the Burrow Strike, but doesn't quite catch Funnick. And the Terrorize will push Ace away, and there's a roar from Funnick to keep that Sand King away, but he does still get caught by the Ice Path. However, the drum charges will allow him to escape, and 5 men will have to stay empty-handed from this engagement.
And they did bring the full 5 men down there as well, so that's also kind of uncomfortable. Great use of all of that just area denial from the Dark Willow. There's really no way that 5 men get a fight there after the initial blink doesn't work out.
It was a good attempt though, but if they caught the Beastmaster with the Burrow Strike, there would have been a huge difference there.
Absolutely.
It would have not only been a stun on point with the Terrorize coming in the back, that would have actually given enough time to cross past the Terrorize while the stun duration was still going, and that Ice Path follow-up would have been in an even sweeter spot. However, it's gonna that was that, and we have our Necro 3 for Funnick. Non-Grata healing his friends here.
And this also means that they're going to have to keep sending people to the bot lane on 5 men. Because what's going to happen now is that this Beastmaster, he will have taken down this bottom tower. And it means that your racks are now under threat. And as long as you don't get any pressure or presence into the bottom jungle, you are going to have to trade base buildings for whatever you do on the map. And that does not feel good.
True.
You see, Paladin might be tanky, but that was half of his health gone.
Yeah. Necro unit starts to hurt, and that tier 2 tower will be taken away. Good pressure from HellRaisers, though. They've managed to take down 3 towers already, and if they're going to start shifting towards the top side of the map yet, because usually you leave those towers for last, and you have a free path open at bottom.
Exactly. He's gonna stay bot, he's gonna force reactions there, he's gonna be a thorn in 5 man's side. Yeah, they gotta
Smoke
move.
with Chrono, they want to go on the Morphling with an E-Blade ready here, farming a stack. Ace and Misery, the jump should be there. Chrono, time to go for it, but no, strength gain is on. 3500 HP Morphling, you can't get him.
Just like that.
Bit unfortunate.
A bit unfortunate, but also just a bit nice positioning that you make sure that you are within vision range if someone walks up there and pops their smoke.
They are surrounding this tier 1 tower from pretty much all sides. Ice Path will connect onto the Dark Willow, going for the TP out. Xibe will cancel it. And Willow will end up going down. Meanwhile, Beastmaster doing some rat's work. Ace going in with a Chronosphere. The Zeus ulti will connect as well to Funnick. Funnick dropping very low. Gets the roar out onto the Faceless Void, trying to run away with 3 HP. But Jesse should get it, and there we go. Lightning bolt to the face. And here... There's the shotgun. There's the fear factor.
Boom.
Boom.
Straight in the noggin.
That hurts.
And that hurts. And it's especially because they had to bring down so many people towards the bottom lane to deal with Funnick. He might actually get out if you use less than 3 heroes there.
Terraccio might go for another attempt. He's got enough mana for a waveform and a shotgun. And this one's close, but there's a stolen roar by Rubik. Strength gain, however, so Misery gets to walk away. Xibe is nearby. Will happen from this. Do they go Roche? They go Roche. Now it's just down to 5 men. Can they contest this? No Chrono. No Zeus ulti. They have Epicenter. They have Ice Path with Macropyre, but it's for the attempt, and Roche is already falling really, really fast. They're not going to challenge it.
I want to also point out here that Xani hasn't really had to do anything at all.
Yep.
He's just finished his BKB.
They are actually challenging. Going on Nograda with the stun from Xibe, and the rest of HellRaisers quickly following up. Can they catch anyone? Terrorize catching 2. It's on Ace, it's on Xibe. BKB Xani walking straight forwards, but no Blink Dagger, so no stun available. Can't catch any other hero.
I gotta be careful here now. The Regoose is dangerous. No. Anyway, I don't think that Xani should actually look to do more before he gets his Blink Dagger anyway, but yeah, I guess he just had that to get that out of his system.
Yeah.
He had that BKB, he wanted to do something with it, and it's all Funnick. Funnick has been making so much space here. I mean, he's also been enabled to do that, but man. The amount of attention that he has drawn means that both of his other cores haven't had to do anything, and that feels so good.
20-minute marker now closed in. Tied kills 8-8. 4,000 lead. We'll take the XP is also a tiny bit for HellRaisers. Just the 1,000. So very even. Even so far.
But we're going to see a BKB on his Morphling pretty much at the same time as we're seeing the Blink come in for the Doom right now. It's only, how much more gold? A little bit more for the Morphling. I'm imagining that they're going to wait for that one though.
Doom just might want to go now because Lil and Xani are around, and Terraccio will also get smoked up, but they might have seen the Morphling, not entirely sure. It was just on edge of vision there in mid. See Pile die. He's not the target, but they could go for Ace. Ace and Misery. Gotta be careful. Dire Scan coming in on Grotto. We'll find them both. They're both stacked up here. The lift will go. Xani goes for the Doom. And Faceless Void will be chased up here. And he stole the Doom and Misery, so it's also thrown on Doom. But Ace will eventually go down. They don't get the deny on him. Ace and Misery both dead. Now Doom trying to go for a run for it. As Xibe now dies with the stun onto the Dark Willow, but he's also out. Here comes the Zeus ulti. Does a lot of damage though. And Doom is dead. So Jesse and Misery get a kill on Lil and Xani. It's a 3-for-2 for HellRaisers. Morphling lives. Ages actually stays.
Excellent Doom still there. It's still not going to save their tower, but at the very least it keeps the gold advantage from agreeing too much. The real problem is going to be when Terraccio has this BKB as well. I don't know how they're ever going to get the damage on 5 men to fight this HellRaisers lineup at that point.
Gonna have to stretch this quite far. At least like another 10 minutes to kind of tie up the scales. Zeus at least needs a Nimbus.
Yeah, and a big role for Misery as well. If he can keep on stealing Roar and Doom, they have a good shot.
Yep, that does balance out quite a lot. Those are very big spells that Rubik can steal.
Yep. And especially the BKB piercing disable of the roar, just 4 seconds of no, your BKB doesn't actually get to allow you to wade in right now. Very nice, but let's see if he can keep it up. He's got a good score so far, good track record.
Oh. Shiva's Sonny's mind as his next item pickup.
Oh, Dracula has his eyes on Chessie on top lane. He knows where he is. He knows exactly where he is.
Ta-da!
Ooh!
Just the E-blade. Adaptive strike. Waiting for a lightning bolt. Alright. Cheeky. Cheeky breaky, but it's not enough. You don't want to waveform in. Just lightning bolts. Ace is here. Chrono's ready. No strength. Strength is actually up, but that's still the Aegis. He's gonna need backup really fast. Waveforming out. 4-0 still chasing him. They're thinking, do they go out or do they go in? Duraccio still being chased up. Backup is almost here. Nongrada's on here. He gets the E-blade out onto Ace, so Ace is unable to hit, and now comes Nongrada. Also fighting, goes for the roar. Onto Ace, and Ace is in trouble, getting stunned up as well by Sunny, and the damage is there, but he still gets the jump over. The Chrono is there. They got the Morphling Agi shifted himself down to death, and Sunny is in big trouble too. He gets lifted up, and he's out of play. Nongrada gonna go falling down as well, as the epicenter from Xibe doing enough damage, catching with the stuns, and Pile die with the ice paths. That Chrono turnaround, allowing Ace with his entire team to not only get the Aegis out, but bait the entire HellRaisers team into their loving arms.
Oh, and that didn't have to be as bad. Like, Xani definitely messed up big time there, but also if HellRaisers just kite that a little bit more and see it as an aborted attempt by their carry rather than as a really good opportunity for a fight, they get to have the BKB on him more because he had it ready in the base. He just didn't have it delivered yet. And instead, that's a 4K gold swing right there. Ace is loving life right now.
Ace is, and Chessie now with Ags. So that came a lot faster than they probably expected, since I think it was like 3,000 gold away from actually having it. And that was a lot of money that was given. Chessie got a kill on Xani. Was there any other kills he actually scored in that one? Might have been killing Lil a lot earlier than that, but let's see. As a smoke is coming in, and it's the BKB Morphling this time. So, Morphling version 2 is coming in. Sunny goes with the stun. Catches Xibe. Xibe will go for the Burrow Strike to get a bit of distance, but will get blown up by the shotgun. Duraccio has actually turned into Sand King himself and looking for Ace, and Ace will get stunned up, and Ace has no chance against this. The HellRaisers, they bring hell right on top of 5 men, and here we even use the Terrorize to make sure that Rubik gets feared up, but he's actually running very fast all the way back to the high ground with that fear on, so he's safe.
All of the damage is this. Oh,
Morphling!
Oh, Dracula, no. Baby, what is he doing?
Stings, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. Stings like hell.
Brilliant play there from Misery, Zeus, and Pile Die. Oh.
He has to respect the burst damage. That's
the second time in the last 2 fights where the Morphling shifted full agi almost.
Yeah, well, the last time was definitely more tragic. This one was just overestimating his own tankiness, I guess.
Yep, that just happened.
It did just happen. Yeah. Something else that happened, by the way, is with the Ags over on the Zeus, it means that Funnick can't go back to the bot lane and push anymore because he is going to be working against the Nimbus. And Chessie can use that to push out the waves from wherever he wants to. It's pushing that button of like, hey, go back to your bot lane is more like pushing the button of, hey, use your Nimbus bot, please.
Yeah.
And
a lot of courier kills. A lot of courier kills happening here in the 5-man side of their triangle. And Missouri is actually going to go in here. Nimbus will be thrown on top of Nongrada. 600 HP still up, but has the heal. Are stacking up. Chrono is up. Duraccio coming out of the Roche pit. 12 seconds for Roshan's minimum timer. We've had some very long Roche spawns today. Let's see if this one's going to be any shorter or longer. HellRaisers are coming in with a smoke, and they spot Pile Die. Well, Just got, okay, the fastest Roche I've ever seen. That's 3 seconds. Okay, baby. Bile die, getting caught with the
Let's
root.
go.
Ace has a chrono up, and he's going to use it directly onto the Doom. And Funny coming in the roar, perfect timing, saving his teammate. There's an E-Blade as well, keeping Sonny alive. And now Faces Void taking a lot of damage from all sides, and he's out, and they also lose Sibe. And the damage is enough from HellRaisers, and looking for Misery. Misery also down, 3 heroes gone, and also the buyback coming in from Pile Die. And if HellRaisers just took a tiny, quick peek into the Roche bit, they would see that, hey, Roche is already up. And it is.
They do.
And they instantly turn around and go for it. That's a 3.5 second or 4 second Roshan timer. I could see that yellow circle went full faster than I've ever seen before in my entire life as a caster. That was so fast.
Beautiful. And I just want to say here, last 2 times that Ace has died, it has been because Lil has been on top of him with the net, with the Bedlam, and he melts. He melts. He's going to be working on a BKB now, but he's a long ways away from it, and up until that point he actually has to be very, very afraid of this this little girl from the other side. Just like that, HR's got their lead back.
Yep. They have been in the lead, but it was a lot closer for 5 men to almost tie it up, at least net worth wise.
They have their previous lead back.
They got their pride back. they are proud.
Yes.
How that last fight went, and Roche basically just handed to them thanks to RNGesus.
Dyrachyo can totally go full agi one more time. It's okay. Big TP's bottom.
Yep.
Lil
Sent Kings in World of Hurt. Bye-bye.
Lil Willow, man. Lil Willow.
Lil Willow.
Is that his
sounds
rap
like
name?
some kind of underground rapper. It's like
underground is
Lil
definitely
Willow.
mumble. Oh, Misery.
Will dodge, gets the lift out. Morphling gotta be careful here this time. 3,300 HP shifted from strength. Or even. Whoa, how much damage did that Fate Bolt do? Okay, that's a big nuke that actually landed. How much does this do? 325. It felt like 500 damage there. Might have connected with the arc lighting at the same time.
And there's also a veil.
And the veil, yeah. Need spell amp. Are closing in the gaps, Sonny. There's a lift on the Enchantress, trying to cliff Non-Grata, but not getting close. Then Ace will find the Chrono, and there's the Zeus combination coming in. Sonny's out. Non-Grata blown up by the epicenter from Sibe. HellRaisers down by 2.
I gotta say, Xani, we've been here before. If you walk up there without your BKB, you're going to get chronoed, and you're going to die. You need to BKB before the chrono. Last time he got to live a little bit longer because the Morphling E-bladed him. But, yeah. They don't need to give up this terrain. That was not necessary.
There's a roar on Ace. All of his mana has been completely burnt out. He wants that stick. He needs 4 seconds. 3 seconds. No. Denied.
Yet.
Not today. Important pickoff here. And low finds Sibe with a brilliant blink with the Yules. Sand King still has Yules for himself as well, but there's also another fight breaking loose here. There's Misery, Pile Die. Jesse trying to keep them away. Managed to disengage at least. Dyrachyo ready with the combo. Very low in mana. This is a big problem with Morphlings usually, that you never have the mana when you really need it.
Yep.
Doesn't want to do any foolish mistakes.
Shifting is so mana intensive, even on the later levels.
I mean, it doesn't cost mana shifting.
Oh no, wait, sorry.
Oh yeah, but the ulti shifting. Yeah, never mind.
Yes.
Yeah, that one. Almost caught me off guard there.
No.
Yeah.
Like, he has to be ready to take anything, and it's just
Orphan
you
powers.
need to reserve all that mana.
Jesse really wants to throw that Nimbus and a Lightning Bolt on Dyrachyo and surprise him off guard. Do you have vision? Oh, they don't. I'm trying to bait out with that Aegis too. He's just on edge of vision. These creeps will actually not show. Never mind. Those creeps were just about to show how low Morphling actually was. So if Dyrachyo would have shifted fully into Agi there for a second, and Nongrata will be found.
Yeah, you know, an Enchantress always has no HP. Especially versus magic damage. We seem to be at a little bit of a stalemate here. I do think that HellRaisers is going to gather for one more attempt here with that Aegis, but it's going to be hard to find a good angle, especially now that Ace has his Chronosphere up again in a couple of seconds. This is the last time that they're going to be able to fight very confidently without Ace having their BKB up though, so I would like to see them action with the tail end of this Aegis.
There's 10 seconds left on it. Lift. Nope. Gets the Yules into the root. Defensive Yules from SK. Sani with the stun. It doesn't quite land the stun. SK allowed to jump out. Phonic goes for the roar and Pylite Die. It's the only target he could find here. Impus onto the Beastmaster. They can't actually even go on the Pylite Die. Jakiro. Ice Path. Oh, they find the Doom. Doom just popped his BKB, but he's gonna get smacked alive by Ace. Can he do it? Tries to go for the Doom. He's got it. He's got the Doom on the Void. Void also used up into the air. And there we go. He's out. Sibe still coming into the fight. Lil will also melt as well. And another Doom. This time it's thrown onto Morphling by Misery. And Diracho, he's stuck in Sand King form. He needs to get a bit more regen out. And he's healing. He is getting some heals out, but he's not living for long enough. And Misery gets Xani down. Morphling still down for a couple more seconds with that Doom.
That is the most confusing thing that I've ever seen. Because he's doomed and he's stuck in Sand King form, which is like, he could totally be on the enemy team. Because that's where the Sand King is, and that's where the Doom usually goes. That's, he wins the cosplay contest.
Yeah, that's an interesting format with the... Yeah, so there's a good steal there from Misery once again. He's really been on point with these important spells. Like, as he said before, like, he keeps on stealing Roars and Dooms, then 5 men should be Gucci. And they are. Like, they still holding back the HellRaiser tide.
I mean, they're not winning yet, but that's what Ace is going to do later. Oh, Misery.
This time he won't get Roar. He's not going to live. Ice Path won't really help.
Yeah, Phonic's got a BKB now. Excuse me. I'm done with your Nimbuses.
They're coming in with a TP. 23 seconds still for the epicenter to be up. Diracho sieging up the tier 2 tower. 10,000 gold lead for HellRaisers. The next Roshan should be up in a bit over a minute.
Gotcha.
I do think that once they want to try and end the game, though, HellRaisers is going to need another Aegis, and I don't think it's going to come as fast as the previous one did. So there's definitely some time for 5 men here, and yeah, BKB for Ace, maybe half of another item before that too.
Yeah.
The real damage dealer is Chessie, though. Look at how farmed this man is.
Yeah, 8, 1, and 8. He's almost got the same amount of net worth as the Morphling does. Just 1,000 gold behind, but being 1k behind when you've already got 19,000. Small margin.
Peanuts.
Peanuts,
So, yeah.
indeed.
With that refresher at already?
Doom is building an Aeon disc. Willow has just finished an Aeon disc. What is going on? What have I missed here?
That Aeon Disc is probably the best singular personal defense item versus Faceless Void.
Against Faceless Void, yeah. And it seems to be the thing. Zeus ulti with a stun. Ace gets the Chrono. But the Enchantress... Is he inside it or outside it? I don't even know. But he's still stunned up. And Nongrata's out. Doom is dead. Nongrata... Yeah, there we go. Interruption. Still staying alive. This is taking quite a long time to kill an Enchantress, but yeah. Finally, Nongrata out of the way. Positive side is Beastmaster didn't actually get into this bot lane in time to actually push while Ench was making all that space.
Unfortunately not, but maybe if they can assassinate Shiba here. They need to move the Necro Creeps in though to get the vision.
There we go. The roar comes in and an instant blow up and straight to the high ground, but the TPs are instant from 5 men. And Ace will TP on top of a root.
Willow is such a great defensive hero, and I really enjoy the way Lil plays her, because if you move forward, you are now defending an aggressive position. The way of, how you can play that area control game with her is really nice, and he makes full use of those capabilities.
Mm.
Just also,
Coming in, Willow out.
adhering to professional tradition, which is that if you are getting praised, personally singled out, you must immediately, forthwith, cease to live.
The new
I
caster
don't
curse.
know which one is worse. What's
New
tied
caster
to me
curse.
at
I
the
guess
start?
Sani, stun
Sani
on
is
Zeus.
on top.
The Doom is out. Misery, he's still scorched earth this time. No Doom given, and Chessie will melt. Duraccio comes to steal the kill and instantly turn their attention towards Misery. Even put a Tinker Ward down, and he turns into Rubik. Telekinesis to Rubik up into the air. And you get a kill. Meanwhile, Phonic is giving the chase. Roar is available, doing a lot of damage on the Jakiro. Goes for the Roar, and Jakiro is dying. Phonic pokes the BKB. Ace is just trying to clear out all these Necro units and all the boards out of the way, and should be able to do so. Xibe is there to back him up, but 3 heroes gone from 5 men. 40 seconds until Roche is going to be up, and there is a Wildwing Ripper, which is actually going to... yeah, I was just looking up what the heck is this Ripper doing in the pit. Yeah, it will expire. It will expire before the Roche goes up. So he was casting canceling that tornado. A bit silly.
Didn't have anything better to do. But yeah, was that Phonic? I think that was Phonic just manning up against 3 enemy heroes, being like, okay, you know what? The Zeus is dead. There's no damage. Come at me. And that is really the problem. Ace has still had to itemize quite defensively. Like, Sanjin Yasha is good damage, but at this point, just SNY and MOM are not going to do it from damage anymore. So, MKB is next on the menu.
Yep. And that is the last tier 2 tower down by HellRaisers, so 5 men only have their base remaining. Meanwhile, there are only 2 towers destroyed by 5 men during the course of these 39 minutes. They haven't got to push almost a single time during this game. Well, now they just have to withstand against the push from HellRaisers, because they're doing Roche right now. They're trying to contest it with the smoke, and they're coming in from the middle area, and there's going to be Lil. Lil will spot them. Aeon Disc will pop, and so those stuns will be dispelled. Yules up into the air. Nongrana coming in from the side. Phonic looking for an opening. Duraccio coming in with the burst strike. Goes with the stolen Sand King mode, and Ace actually gets the BKB off, and Xibe is already down. Now the BKBs. There's some spider legs. Asani's just crossing straight through that high ground pot, but Ace now, Duraccio almost blows up the Faceless Void. Morphling still feeling pretty heavy, and he's actually, yeah, he's feeling good here. And what a range on that stun, because Morphling has an Axe. Look at that Burrow Strike. Stun range. Now Xibe, and look at that again.
Ouch.
Still trying to save and do some help. Xibe actually gets out with the Blink Dagger somehow.
Quite unbelievable. Ace is back with full health. But still, I don't think Ace got more than 3 right clicks off during that fight. His attention was constantly getting pulled back and forth between wanting to fight Duraccio and wanting to go to the place where most heroes were to get a Chronosphere out. Instead, he gets forced to use it defensively. Now he doesn't have it, and they gotta try and
aggressive play. Sani with a 2-man stun, and he dooms up the Faceless Void, but he's also going to lose his life in the process. Duraccio coming in as well. Double kill for Phonic at the same time. 3 heroes come from 5 men. Morphling still trying to fight against it, but Morphling's down, and the buybacks are coming in, and this is the last moments here for 5 men. If Jesse dies, it's all over, because there's no more buybacks remaining. He's the only one who does have a buyback up again, and Jesse actually still lives for a little bit longer, but Jakiro is not going to be as lucky. The dust from Lil, the Yules into the air, and Jakiro is out. Duraccio finishes off the Roshan at the same time, so he's got the Aegis. The Doom will pick up the cheese, and there's an Axe buff for him as well. HellRaisers looking for the 2-0 here. The last hurrah from 5 men. They just got evaporated in this fight. They forced 2 buybacks last time. Now they have 4 heroes gone, and none of them can buy back in.
Yep, and one of the most powerful weapons against the Faceless Void was just used is you buy back after he used his Chronosphere. And now what? Duraccio's here. He's got an Aegis. You're not going to kill this man twice. There is absolutely no way.
Duraccio now, they're hitting towards that tier 3 tower. Glyph will be used. 20 seconds for a void. No chrono for half a minute.
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
Look at the push. Lil's courier dies with the leveler on it, but it doesn't matter.
Radiant's middle barracks.
They're gonna keep at it. LA racks down.
Dire's top tower.
LA
Does
racks
matter a
down.
little bit.
Yeah, for a tiny bit longer. That's a mid racks open. Going down towards the bot lane. Their lane looking to be clear. Chessie's there. Zuri and Ace.
Yeah,
Chrono
waiting
is
for
up
all
in
these spawns.
5 seconds. Get to it.
I'd like to illustrate, by the way, the positioning from 5 men there. Is if you're not planning to defend, don't even go fishing. Just don't do it. Wait, what was Nongrat's courier doing there?
Take its own life in shame.
Nongrat's courier?
They may never know.
Yeah, like right over here.
I don't know. Lil's
Misery
courier
just
also
got a
died in a very mysterious place. I don't know where they even died. Alright. Well, so they lost the princess knife and the leveler. Okay, the leveler is actually brought back into the fountain. So even with the courier having it on, it's still in the stash. What? How? Explain.
I don't know how this video game works. You tell me.
Yeah, I don't know if neutral items behave differently, that it's still somewhere that you can just send it back to stash. I don't know. Should it be possible? Anyway. 44 minutes passed and HellRaisers are very close to victory. Very close to a 2-0 against 5 men, which would be a very impressive result from them, because that does mean HellRaisers would go up to 8-2 and actually bypass Ninjas in Pajamas in the groups. That tells quite
I
something.
think we'll find someone again.
Sibe rooted in the river. Yules is still available. Stun is about to connect, and they just surround the Sand King.
Here comes the cavalry.
Yep. Stun is for days. Sibe is out of play. Misery is forced away from that bot lane.
That was too close for comfort.
That was way too close for comfort, yeah.
Also, love how Xani just knows that Sand King is dead. I'm waiting in for the follow-up kill immediately. Doesn't even look over his shoulder.
Lift goes out on the Dark Willow, though. Nimbus, and there's the Aeon Disc pop. Symphonic goes for the roar
went
into
in.
Ace. Where's the damage follow-up? Does anybody get the stun on that? The Terrorize goes out. Non-Grata, really good ice path there from Pylite Eye, allowing Ace to escape. Looked a bit scary there for a second. Phonic used his roar, though it's going to be up in 60 seconds again, but nobody could follow up on that.
Yeah, I think his use of the BKB is more important there. That's going to slow them down a bit. They should not attempt for a go now.
Yep. And you can see Terraccio has turned into Willow, and he will keep bombarding with that Axe buff.
Oh, yeah. If he gets vision on anyone. They are going to
Oppa!
die.
Phonic tossed in the air. These masters should be out of play. Yep. Unstoppable streak for Ace.
So what did I just say about the BKB Phonic? Like, I don't like it when I'm praising them and they go and die, but it's even worse when I'm like, you know, he's gonna do this now. And then he's like, no. Nah, I don't think I will.
They are deciding to shift into a more defensive play here, with Misery picking up a Ghost Scepter. That should keep him alive longer. Maybe. It's a big maybe, because there's a good mixture of both physical and magical. I feel like the majority of the damage on HellRaisers is magical, but Morphling still right clicks for almost 400 damage.
Oh yes, and you can't discount all of the damage coming out from the Necrobook either. Or, by the way, from the Impetus. Non-Grata is very much a damage dealer in this game as well. It's just that he dies very fast.
Five men stacking up in mid. They've lost 2 lanes. At least they can push mid out. Bottom is a bit scary to go to.
Yeah, but they know, if they've done the math, that they have about a 2-minute window now where the Morphling does not have a buyback. So they can feel pretty free to play here, just because there's no way that Dracula would want to take any risks here. If he dies, 5 men could just end the game.
Radiant's top tower is under siege.
I think 5 men know.
An idea. They're playing pretty safe in that bot lane at least, so they're staying there, keeping the wave pushed in, making sure everybody shows up. 5 men having a little picnic. Picnic might turn into panic very quickly, though. There's the Zeus ulti. The Katsung Sani need to get the chronos and stuff. They need to get those stuns at least. And there he goes. He's just full HP. Heals himself with the cheese. And there we go. Finding off the jump onto Misery. Misery still in trouble. Duraccio coming in as well. Sani looking for that. They got the Doom and Ace. Ace is gone. He needs to buy back as soon as possible. Get back in and use that Chronosphere, which he didn't get the opportunity to use last time.
His team will still be alive.
Well, just goes with the Hex right click there with the Princess Knife. Now Xibe getting focused on by Sani. 500 HP, Impetus Spears. Oh, he will go down. Sani will get the kill there as well. And Ace is in big trouble. Ace to the spawn back, and he's already going down, and he's dead. That's it. That's it for 5 men. HellRaisers do it again, and it's 2-0 for them. There's no coming back from this. This is over. Jesse will die as well. Chased down to the death. And finally, 46,000 gold ahead. And it is CIS doing it. Still a last huzzah. Lil goes for the deep dive. Yules onto the Zeus. Zeus getting rooted up. Sunny's there. Non-Grota with Impetus Spears. That the damage is enough. They can't move anywhere. 5 men lose another. Rubik survives with a shred of HP, but those tier 4 towers will be the next focus. Phonic is still trying to bait them out. BKB. GG is finally out there, and HellRaisers, they have done it. They've broken the 5-man defense, and they do it. So they do it so that they get a 2-0 to end the day.
Well deserved. Very, very well deserved. And like, especially shout out here to Misery, who kept stealing dooms until the very end. Duraccio was doomed again in that fight. Misery got it again. But it just wasn't enough anymore at that point. And that is something that I really want to say. Like, it was Duraccio Lul twice in a row. Twice this guy messes up his Agimorph. And it doesn't actually phase him that much. I don't think I've actually seen him switch up his play because of the mistakes that he made at all. He's just like, all right, fine, that's a mistake. I know that's a mistake. My team knows that that's a mistake. I'm not likely to do that again. And honestly, I kind of hope that when he did do it again, they just all burst out laughing, because that's what it felt like, right? They had a very tight grip on this game as well emotionally. They were even a bit flippant about it. The fact that Xani doesn't PKB before the chrono like 3 times in a row, they feel so confident on this HellRaisers squad, and you see that in the way that they eventually play out the game, even though they made mistakes along the way. They didn't doubt for once that they could win this game, and I am thoroughly enjoying it.
With this win, HellRaisers actually pushed themselves to 2nd place now in the groups, bypassing Ninjas and Pajamas. So HellRaisers looking very strong here. They also now joined the club of not losing a single series fully. So they have drawn out twice against Viking GG and against Mud Golems, and now they win 5 men, which is a big feat for them here. So things are getting interesting. Very interesting.
Absolutely. And I want to see more of these guys. They seem to be playing very well together. I love the way that they hit their timings. I think Phonic's game is absolutely on point as well. And yeah, if I just, there's one thing I need to know is Non-Grata still good if he doesn't get Ench all the time?
Do you think HellRaisers is going to be a top 4 team going straight into the upper bracket of the playoffs? We've got 3 group stage stays ahead though.
They already drew the 2 hardest matchups that were available to them. And with pushing 5 men out of the way in this dominating fashion, definitely they might make it hard on themselves. You see with confident CIS teams sometimes that they throw. But I don't think that's necessary. And if they have enough pride to keep themselves upright, then yeah, they're top 4 finish for me for sure.
Well, that finishes our day. All of our 4 series are completed, and I think it's a good time to take a well-deserved rest for the players. At least there's some of them will be continuing tomorrow, and we I'm not sure about when you are actually going to continue casting, maybe tomorrow or during this coming weekend, but I will at least return next week, most likely. However, thanks for tuning in today. Just like yesterday, some great games, and we've definitely had a fun ride. Hopefully all the viewers have also had a lot of fun today watching all the games and all the action unfold here in EU and CIS. This definitely puts a lot of good things in store for the rest of the days.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see all of these teams hit the playoffs, but for now, there's still some more group stage action to come. I'll be following it, and who knows, maybe I'll be co-casting some more of it as well, but I don't know that yet. So let's just wait and see, shall we?
We will have to wait for that. Also, go and check us out on Twitter, for example. Just follow us T_Panda Dota, and then we got Kips Pull if you want to keep up on our casting schedules, for example. But I think it's a good time to pass over our turn, since we've already done a long day, to the American casters. So BTS Pro Series Season 3 Americas will continue, and it's actually ongoing right now. So it's a good time to say goodnight, everybody, from our behalf, and enjoy the games that are up to come. See you next time.